at some point you have to get over your insecurity about investing in your own self, and that won't lead into more money and more influence and more connection. I think that some of the greatest transformations for me have happened because I made an investment. And these instances, when I paid attention. And you hear these things, they're cliche, they're nuanced. It's around every corner. But the thing is like when you start to feel that call, and then the free stuff, you binge, you put it into your system and then you take it. It's like at some point, I need to put some skin in the game. I need to get invested because that investment, money is currency. And the currency that you have, that you're paying towards things, are things that are either going to help build you into who you're becoming, are going to help you stay exactly the same, or are things that are going to put you in situations that are going to let you degrade yourself into such a place that either one, you pass a point of human aid, or that you get so uncomfortable that you need to build yourself back up to comfort again, or that leads you to a rock bottom feeling that you never want to be there again. And then finally you get hungry enough to start to invest in yourself. And I've noticed a pattern with many people is that they feel that a lot of these things are gimmicks. They feel like a lot of coaches and mentors and teachers, that they're liars, that they're stealers, that they're basically performers of a set of sales, just trying to sell you something that you don't want or need. Now, I've been taught that selling is service. So that means that the service that I have, and me not giving that to somebody else and giving them the same opportunity that was given to me to invest in myself and choose myself, if I don't do that, then that would rob you of that opportunity. And when you find someone that you like what they're doing and you feel called to work with them, no one can make you take that action. No one can actually make you say, oh yes, this is actually right for me. Doesn't matter if your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, your cat, your whatever says, do it. Even then, that isn't a cause for you to take an action. It isn't a cause, it isn't a reason. So you have to decide. And sometimes you have to hurt enough that you have to. Sometimes you have to be inspired enough that you want to. Sometimes you have to have enough that you're finally feel like you're able to. Sometimes it's when you learn enough, when you take in enough information and you hear things like, oh, it's going to take money to make money, or people who talk about debt in a way that's actually beneficial and saying, no, there is good debt versus bad debt. And you start to learn new things, ask better questions, that finally you say, oh, I want to do something different. But no one can make you decide that. No one is going to be there to hold your hand to say, today's the day. Today's the day. So a lot of the time, the spiritual game is trusting in yourself, to trust yourself to take the leaps, and that those leaps may not always be exactly to the results that you thought that you were going to get from that exact thing, but that is going to lead you to what your next logical step is. When I invested $10,000 into a coaching program for 6 months, I didn't get the results I wanted from that I thought I was going to get. But what I did get saved my freaking years later. A year and a half later, what I learned in that program literally pivoted my whole life and led me to launching my successful Bali retreat. But if I hadn't had gone through that experience and that I didn't take it seriously and I didn't put the pen to paper because I paid that $10,000 to do it, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had that skill because I wouldn't have been paying attention. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel scared when making an investment. And there's a difference between, and understand this, there's a big difference. So that period of time where I've gone between coaches and mentors and programs where I paused after, right? So I was in this 3 months. So I did a Tony Robbins training, UPW, Unleash Your Power Within, which was like 5 days. That's immersion. And then I went into a 3-month container And that was repetition. And then after that 3-month container, I took a pause and I integrated everything that I learned from those periods. And then I was ready for a 6-month container less than a year later. And I joined that 6-month container, right? And then I paused after that 6-month container, integrated everything I learned. And then a year, 2 years later, I joined a year-long mastermind. And then I joined that year-long again. So there are times in strategic periods where if you're not having anything new to integrate into your life, it's time to get a mentor. And if you have had so much learning that you've become addicted to the learning, then it's time to maybe pause the learning and just go integrate, just go take action, just go do the things. But it's one thing and it's another thing for you to say, I'm still where I've been, I'm comfortable, there is no growth, there is no input that is getting you into new action, and then not investing in the mentor because you're comfortable. So just ask yourself today, what decision am I avoiding that could shape my destiny in a new direction that would lead me to feel so soul satisfied and good? Ask yourself that today.